Hi everyone. Good evening. Good evening, Shakuntala ji. Good evening, Mitali, Jyoti, Swapnil, Priya,
Good evening.
Archana. Good evening, Mehek. Who is this DGY? Please change your name. How are you doing? How was your Diwali? First of all, happy Diwali to each one of you here.
Same
How
to
was
you
your
too.
Diwali?
Very fine.
Beautiful. Hi, Garima. Shruti. Okay, perfect. How are you, everyone? And what did you do in last 1 week when we all were on rest? What exactly you did? You enjoyed your Diwali, you did something which you couldn't do in last 1, 2 months. How did you utilize that time? Would love to know before I tell you the intention of today's session.
We
Yes,
enjoyed our Diwali and had a very good celebration.
very
Thank you.
nice. Beautiful. Yes. Were you all able to complete couple of things that you were lacking, or you were totally in Diwali mode? I'm sure many of you who have joined a Kuber Potli session were able to, create something for yourself. When we especially wrote those intentions, when we created the whole intention for the year, now it's time to take it further. Okay, energy work is already done. Now it's time to go deeper into that, coming out of what you have been doing to where you want to land. So this is going to be agenda of today. I will tell you in detail. Okay. So was just waiting for a couple of more people to join so that I can start today's session. I did every ritual. Beautiful. I did Kuber. Beautiful, Mehak. Okay, amazing. How about others? And guys, I'll be going a little slow today. I got my tooth extraction done last Sunday. So I'll be talking a little slow, but you'll be able to hear. Okay? I've just placed a mic over here so that my voice is loud and clear. Yes. Okay. So first of all, what's the agenda for today? Uh, in last 1 week, I got at least 7 to 8 messages on inconsistency. That because of Diwali or because of something happened at home, I have come off track, and now it is difficult for me to come back, right? And we call it inconsistency. And today, and so many of you have been asking me, Sonam, EFT de do consistency ke liye. It's not about just consistency. Today, we are going to go deeper to talk about sincerity. And you will realize the way we have, I have planned this session, you will realize where you are breaking on your sincerity towards your business. Because every person sitting in this room, I am seeing you not just as a, healer, but as a business woman today. And when you actually are able to see yourself there, that's where the whole game change. Because what happened, healers, coaches are, doing operating from a point of view of earning, just earning. Business women, when she set up, she runs business because she knows she just don't have to bring money at home. She has to create entire setup for herself, for others, right? And when I say for others, yes, I'm actually helping you visualize that you can have your own team. Back in 2023, when I started my journey, this was one of the exercise I did with one of my coach who helped me see, hey, Sonam, you will have your own team. I said, shut up, मेरे को कुछ नहीं आता and you're telling me to have my own team. 2022 end. And today, just because what he made me do on that day, I don't exactly remember, but I have created exercise basis what I did and how it gave me those results. And that had nothing to do with inconsistency, but everything to do with the sincerity towards business. And today you will recognize this through this exercise. Okay. So remember 10-10 pe bhi, even on Diwali, we wrote our intentions for 2026. Correct. And in last few days, because it was a festive season, I'm sure you have done enjoyed everything, right? And some bhagdauड़ में चल रहा है कि अरे इतना कुछ रह गया. So right now, first I want you to take a pause. Okay. And I want you to think about one thing as you take this pause today, that so many times, maybe on 10 portal, 99 portal, maybe in the start of year, you have promised to do something, correct? अभी भी हमने वही किया when we did this Kuber Portly or 10 portal. Maybe some of you have decided 10 May, I because I got that message from so many of you that now, Sonam, I'll be consistent on my social media. I'll be getting up early. I'll be showing up more. I'll be doing my inner work properly. Correct? I remember these were some of the things that you texted me separately also. But in spite of saying this, we fail. We don't do. And it has nothing to do with inconsistency or procrastination. It is just that we have lost what? Sincerity. And I'm going to talk only about this word today because it changed my whole point of view, the way I see my business now, or the way I used to see myself as a person who thought side income ho jayegi. Okay. Sincerity doesn't mean at all कि हमें serious होना है. कि okay, if I'm sitting like this, I'm behaving like this, I'm sincere, forget it. It's not sincerity. Sincerity doesn't mean at all कि I'm telling you कि pressure में work करना है. It's not about because Sonam or Mini is saying, hey guys, show up so that people watch you. नहीं, वो sincerity नहीं है. Sincerity is when you are doing something because उसके बिना ना you cannot just operate. Like, if you will not have your maybe one meal a day at least, you just can't survive. You want to have it to have that energy. So, which is more like, a food for your soul. But trust me, अगर उसके बिना आप survive कर रहे हो, that is not a sincerity towards what you really want to do. And it has not just to do anything with your business or maybe with this coaching or healing life, but everything you do in your life. और जैसे ही वो सिंसेरिटी ब्रेक होती है, द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट वी डू इज अरे कल करेंगे वापस स्टार्ट, बिकॉज आवर बॉडी स्टार्ट्स नेगोशिएटिंग ऑन दोस पॉइंट्स, राइट? बिकॉज आवर माइंड, आवर नर्वस सिस्टम पुल अस बैक इनटू व्हाट? इन कंफर्ट जोन, कि इतना है, कोई बात नहीं, अभी नेक्स्ट मंथ देख लेंगे, राइट? एंड व्हाई this consistency, or I won't say consistency, why there is so much of resistance that comes? Let's understand this now. Because हम क्या कर रहे हैं? We are just getting into learning. आज उसको embody करते हैं so that we actually understand, boss, where is the gap? In spite of me doing hundreds of things, why I'm not achieving? So वो resistance क्यों आ रहा है? And those who are part of ancestral healing, they will understand it very quickly. And they will know exactly where to tap. But even if you are not, you will still be able to understand also. So, if you remember, thousands and thousands years ago, when our ancestors started their life, they didn't had planners. उनको कुछ नहीं पड़ी थी अपनी लाइफ की. What they were relying on, one time का meal मिल जाए at least, so that at least we can survive. प्यास लगी है तो बस पानी मिल जाए so that we can survive. We don't die out of thirst. Maybe there is a place where we can sleep. Yes, we kept evolving, but when you go back 1,000 years back, when your maybe lineage started working, operating, this was the situation. एक night भी अगर वो safely निकालते थे तो it used to feel like they used to feel like a victory. कि कुछ तो achieve किया. And because their nervous system was programmed to survive, not do something, not thrive, I would say. आप कितने भी efforts करते हो, the same thing remain inside you. So every time when you are trying to grow, आप अपने program का बता रहे हो, you're trying to speak, you're trying to sell, your body resists that. It's unsafe. And you will exactly know what that resistance is as I go further and ask you to journal few things. You don't have to ask anybody. So coming back to the point, this is how your ancestors work, right? But over a period of time, of course, our grandparents, great grandparents, everybody, they started getting into this evolution. You are the evolution today, right? So somewhere in someone in your bloodline, one of the soul, maybe your great grandfather or your grandmother, They started taking call. Maybe your grandfather moved out of town कि चलो कुछ नया create करते हैं to bring more money to family. Maybe your grandmother was the first one to say कि okay, I want to send my daughter to study so that she can work. And maybe you are the first woman in your whole family who is working. What is happening, guys? Just be on mute. I want all of you to please be on mute. I'm trying to. Sure, Garima. We will come to that everything so well. Okay. So yeah, I was saying yes. So somebody in the family took that call, and today, if you are also trying to become that person, you are also trying to. You are the first one to show that evolution. You're the first sincere one, I would say. Okay? But what you are doing, you are completing their cycle. So every time when you get into this mode where you say, hey, you know what, I can't stay consistent, Sonam. Hota hi nahi hai and I feel like I'm giving up. Trust me, no, none of you are fighting with laziness or procrastination. It's just that they, that is your ancestors, learned to survive. Your nervous system is learned to survive, right? Mehak, I've declined your request. Now, because अब इसका करना क्या है? We are not going to sit on that. So it doesn't matter how much gifted you are, आपकी transformation best होंगी, आपकी healing best होगी. You yourself is the one of the best person because these patterns still stays inside our body. We can't hold this consistency, and every time growth comes, we reject. If you're like I always remember some of you who keep telling me, नहीं मुझे तो ना बहुत खुशी मिलती है when somebody grows. But see why this, where this is coming from, right? It is again a survival pattern. Seeing somebody else grow, maybe I don't, an unconscious pattern. Maybe I don't deserve to grow like this person. Maybe I'm not coming from that side. Mehek, I'm declining once again. Hmm. Okay, so why this happens? Why this happens is because somewhere deep inside, as I said, sincerity is not in our mind. हमें क्या करना है? Business बनाना है. Here I want to earn money. But trust me, many of us are not sincere. And when I say sincere, I don't mean you have to be like a soldier. Discipline होना नहीं. But literally devoted like a saint कि अगर मैंने आज अपना ये काम नहीं किया ना, my day is not complete. Just like how many of you are sincere mothers कि I cannot send my child without lunch. Have any one of you, even when you were in fever, even when you were in bad state, have you told your child कि बच्चे कुछ भी खा लेना बाहर से? No, you were so sincere towards your mother, towards your child कि नहीं, I can't let my child eat from outside. See how sincere you are when it comes to your child, when it comes to your family, right? When it comes to your family, you are like, you're doing everything, but apni bari aati hai, then what happens? This sincerity goes for a toss, right? Energy feels scattered. Arey, ye kaam karna hai, ye kaam karna hai. You just can't be sincere at that time because your soul is kind of divided between the noise of whatever your responsibilities are and your purpose. But today I want to remind you, it's time to come back and understand where have I lost this sincerity. Because एक चीज भी, only one thing that you will act, where you will act as a sincere person, you do one thing, trust me, you will become that person. जो चीजें half पे नहीं छोड़ रहा ना, अगर पूरा कर रहे हो, you are not just going to change things for yourself, but for the next 7 generation. अब ये break हो रहा है, and बार बार we are tapping into this, so it's time to actually come out of this whole thing today. So the agenda of today's session is that only. I am not going to motivate you to work from here on. Of course, we'll be doing different activities. I'm going to help you to how to tap into your sincerity. Okay, how to make our nervous system comfortable with this sincerity. How to make your body feel, okay, I want to show up because it is not by force, Baba. ये मेरे को ना मजा आ रहा है ये काम करने में, right? And how we are going to do that today? Of course, one I will take you to this whole activity that of EFT, and then a prompt that will help you find When you will write it, I will give you examples also. When you will write, you will exactly know where is the gap, where is my energy leaking. And there is a very beautiful thing that I just remember that one of my coach said when he was doing this with me. He said, Sonam, it's not that you're not sincere from, right from the start of your life. No, you were very sincere. जब आप कोई गेम खेलने जाते थे, you were totally into it. You did not wanted to come home. You maybe cried, Mama, I want to finish it, then only I will come. When you loved somebody, you were so sincere at that time also. You did not plan sincerity at that time because you totally loved it, so you embodied it, right? And today we will be doing the same embodiment which you have towards your loved ones, towards your child, towards something that you truly love. Because अगर आप अपने business में ये नहीं कर रहे, तो somewhere you are not sincere towards your business. Okay, perfect. Yes. So how we are going to do it is, first I want you to take out your notepads. I'm going to make you write few things, and then I will help you tap into this so that you become super duper consistent. आप लोगों को ये समझ आए कि where my energy is leaking. वो समझ आ गया. Trust me, the second thing is where you will grow, or the next thing you will tap into. You will not come to me asking क्या करूं, I'm stuck here. What should I do? You will feel I have the answer for this, right? I know what my audience wants to listen. And trust me, guys, one thing I tell you, आपकी audience को perfectionism नहीं चाहिए. The truth is, they want to see real you. And when you tap into real you, that's where they will understand. You are becoming sincere, not by showing, boss, this is my perfect image. मैं ये perfect हूँ, मुझे ये सब perfect आता है. Absolutely not. They just want to see real you, where you talk about your pains. And why it doesn't happen? Because हमको डर लगता है to show our vulnerable side. Hey, you know what? I have been through that time where maybe my relationship with my mother-in-law was hell. And we judge ourselves. If I will talk about it and somebody will listen to me, then what? I spoke about it when I had the maximum judgments from my whole family, including my mother-in-law, and she questioned me, "तुमने क्यों बोला? अभी तो like, we have just started talking." I said, because I see that improvement. And I'm doing it because the more I affirm, the more people see, I think the energy is going to amplify. Correct? I want each one of you to pick your vulnerable side and talk about it. That is your sincerity. Sincerity doesn't mean अरे मैंने checklist पे tick कर दिया. It means I'm ready to show up with any side of any vulnerable side of me without having fear of being judged, right? And then showing up not like a passion, not like a hobby, but like my whole family runs on this business. Imagine if you have zero income at home right now. God forbid, if there is a stage, will you do anything and everything? Will you show up every day in spite of the fact that you don't even have a helping hand at home? You will, because you feel responsible to bring money home. But why not now is because that situation is not there. The sincerity towards work is not there. कि चलो काम तो चल रहा है ना. We are living what? Again, going back to survival. काम तो चल रहा है. And every time you
सोनम
want to live. Yes.
सोनम घर में नहीं कोई जज करने वाला, कोई कंप्लेंट करने वाला, कोई नीचा दिखाने वाला, उसको क्या करेंगे?
Heal on to that person. Your parents, your husband, your daughters will be the first one to judge you. घर पे ही लोग judge करेंगे. Because they will
हाँ.
say, नहीं होने वाला. You have spent 2 years. I think I was talking to Aman just 3-4 days back, and she shared with me, Sonam, you know what? I closed a client for 1.5 lakh. Didn't tell my husband because anyways उसको लगता है things are not going to work out. ये सब
यस.
सबके लिए नहीं है, right? This coaching, this healing industry is not for everyone. We lose the faith in us because we think somebody else is judging me, and that's where the cycle of earning, the cycle of confidence ends, right? We lose our sincerity. Our sincerity is the first step. Consistency comes later. If you are sincere now, you will trust me, Saujanya, no matter what. You feel like I am incomplete if I'm not doing something. For example, you have love towards plants. I'm just giving you an example. You are so possessive towards your plant. आप बाहर भी जाओगे, you will be like, I want to give all my 30 plants to my neighbor. Going to tell them, please take care of my plants. That's your sincerity, your love towards your plant. But what happens when it comes to business? Arey Diwali, I know, I need a break. We give reason. Ki no, I am feeling. And you know how we give reason? Is like I feel that right now my intuition is saying कि नहीं, this is the time to take a break, a rest, and then that break goes forever. फिर वो वापस ट्रैक में आने में टाइम लगता है and we say this is my intuition, what I am feeling is my intuition. No, that is not your sincerity. Yes, I'm not telling you to not to take breaks. Definitely do. But think, if I will not open my shop, it's like my shop. If I don't open my shop, how will I operate? How will I get money? These judgments is the first one you should deal with. And how? By not telling these people, hey, you know what? I'm going to bring money in next 2 months. I'm going to sign up clients in next 3 months. No, absolutely not. By working on yourself, showing up so much that in spite of the fact that, now there could be a story, like how I created a story. I don't know if anyone have seen that or not, long back, about my own bosses, that the way they treated and the way I was doubted at home, everything broke me from my professional and personal end. What I did is what I just continued doing these practices, because at that time I was telling my story to people so that they connect with me. Doesn't matter who supports you or not. There is a part of you, if you will keep working on it consistently, sincerely, you are going to eventually reach at that place. Right? So today, first thing we should do is, अब inconsistency से पहले भी become sincere. And how to become sincere? By answering first, knowing and answering few questions. क्योंकि पता हमें सब कुछ है. The only thing is, guys, if you have not penned it down, trust me, you don't have it in your mind.
What are those questions? Can you tell me?
I'm going to start with that. So the very first thing I want you to take is your notepad, everyone. Please take your notepad. Oh, sorry, Garima. I think she's not here. So, Apnil, this is a very good question actually, and I'm going to definitely answer it towards the end. Okay, I actually waited for 1.5 years to have a right partner, and I had so many people with whom I said yes, I'm gonna start, but I never started with them. Okay, yes, so I'll answer it towards that. So, guys, I hope you have got your pen and paper. Yes. I can see some of you, but those who are off camera, please have your pen paper. Do this exercise. I would have given this question, but I'm not going to give. And towards the end, I will help you tap into this energy. Okay. Now, when you think about inconsistency, okay, I want you to think about this question, that whom or what are you really trying to protect by not staying consistent? What is that thing you're trying to protect by not staying consistent? And I'm going to tell you what I wrote couple of years back, like where I was, right? To me, it was I was protecting my comfort zone. So what used to happen? Anytime I used to slow down, okay? I used to tell myself, I'm just listening to my heart. My heart is saying, slow down, Sonam. It's not always important to run. But the problem there was, or rather the truth was, that I was avoiding discomfort. For example, I knew I had to hire a social media manager, but discomfort kya tha? वो I will have to pay him. I don't know if it is going to give me result or not. So I started giving excuse to myself that it's okay to slow down at times, because when I slow down, I will listen to my energy. Right? Many times we say that, right? Slowing down is not bad, but slowing down and not thinking what next is the wrong thing, right? So every time I want to grow, I wanted to grow rather, the moment I think of the next thing, it used to feel heavy. Or फिर क्या होता था? I had all the excuses, because deep down I was scared to hire a team, to pay them. कि okay, even if I'll hire, if I will not stay consistent in giving them videos or in giving them content, what is the sense of paying them? So I had all these questions because especially when it comes to paying to somebody, it's a big thing, right? Again, कि अरे मेरे पास income नहीं है and I have to pay to somebody. I was deep down scared. This is how I was trying to protect myself कि मेरे को consistency पे कोई question मैं खुद को नहीं करूं, right? कि what if I fail in publicly on social media and everyone will see it, look at her, she call herself as a healer and she is failing. I hid my own wounds, never spoke about it, thinking that people will judge me कि Sonam is calling herself as a coach and look at her own life, it is in total mess. So I never shared that journey, but did not knew that everybody is going through. Those who are watching my story, many of them will only connect because of the vulnerable side. So, first thing that I want you to see as you write your answer, are you showing the worst fear about your life on social media? Because many women, अगर आप अपना नहीं बोल सकते, for example, I just want to give you this example because I know some problems are very, triggering, especially when it comes to relationship. Okay, somebody who is going through, say, extramarital affair, and they are trying to come out. The best way to come out is talk about it. I have been through that. If you have had a mutual understanding with your partner on that thing and you have come out of, and suppose if not, talk about it, that why all these happens, how somebody from your own client have got into this. That way, when you show up, you exactly know the problem, you're talking from your heart, and everything that you have personally gone through will show up properly. So here I want you to first think, what is that thing where I'm trying to protect myself by saying, by hiding this vulnerable part, or consistency. What are you really trying to protect by not staying consistent? Okay, are you getting the question? And at times, some people are literally scared of success also. This was me actually, because I thought if I will keep succeeding as I'm growing into this field, I had lost all my connection. I had a big social circle and it came to zero now. So every time I was losing, I was dropping in my sales. Why? Ab to ye bhi gaya, ab to ye bhi gaya. That thing kept hitting my mind all the time until I understood and healed on that part. Right? So इस situation में क्या होता है? Neither we are flying nor we are landing. So we are somewhere in between. Keep thinking, we are neither very safe or not very, or settled. ठीक है? Frustration भी रहता है, एक safe zone भी रहता है कि चलो friends हैं. I'm just giving example of some people in your life. Right? And we stay frustrated also. Why am I not growing? Because I'm not choosing what is more important for me. There is no sincerity. आप टीवी ऑन करोगे और your friend say, hey, you know what, I'm coming home, and you said yes, I'm available, in spite of the fact you have heavier things in hand. How many of you, sincerity when I'm talking about, think about this and then write your answer. Sincerity is maybe you deciding that hey, you know what, I'm gonna start waking up at 4 o'clock because I know the power of Brahma Muhurat, right? But where you will lose is when your mind says, Acha, now you want to wake up at 5, 10, 30, 11 tak aap phone scroll kar rahe ho, right? And this becomes uncomfortable for you to keep your phone on side before 10 o'clock. This becomes uncomfortable for you when your mind says 4 o'clock utna hai, right? So I want you to see these patterns, some promises that you do to yourself, but you never land on those points because these are the stories. Almost ready, जब हम बोलते हैं ना, oh, you know what, as a coach, I'm almost ready. It feels easier than being fully responsible. जब आप fully responsible होगा, you will tap into the power of CEO, power of business women. But when you say, hey, you know what, I'm almost ready, trust me, it's the power of a healer. इसीलिए business नहीं बनता. I'm not saying that calling yourself as a healer or coach is different. No, but having the mindset where you are saying, I'm almost doing, I'm almost reaching there, I'm learning, हाँ हो ही जाएगा, right? It's not a responsibility that you are taking. Imagine you're working for someone. क्या वहां पे आप बोल सकते हो ऐसा? तो ठीक है, कर ही देंगे. When you know the deadline is say 10 p.m. You have to do it by hook or crook, right? So think and write your answer. That again, what was the question? I forgot. Yeah. The question was again, what am I really protecting by not staying consistent? Right. And the best thing is, I remember I wrote this answer there. I used to say, I'm waiting for divine timing. So many of you say that. I know so many said to me also that Sonam, I'm waiting. Divine time when I will attract client. I'm waiting for the right alignment. I will do this when I will heal this part of me. That time will never come. You heal the best when you're healing somebody. Right time is now. कोई divine time नहीं होता. Divine time तो हमेशा चल रहा है. Right? It's just a part of you who is scared of finally becoming that person कि अरे इतनी responsibility आ जाएगी. Half of the things break. क्यों responsibility आ जाएगी? Okay, I will send these questions. It's with me. I will just type in and send it in group also. But please do it now because what I'm talking is I'm talking from my experience. And with these 5 questions that I have written, same question I answered at that time. And this is the only reason I'm so sincere towards my work. अगर मुझे सुबह उठना है तो उठना ही है ये वर्क मुझे स्टार्ट करना है because I feel my soul is empty if I'm not doing right. So that is the level you are going to reach. Yes, clear. I'm giving you 1 minute to complete this question. Okay, Aman. So this is a question, answer to Aman's question. Aman, I'm definitely gonna answer you there, of course. But understand, when we are working towards something, we are trying to find, Arey yaar, why, I am that consistency in my income is not there. Why I'm not having consistent income every month? Maybe I'm losing on something. Maybe I'm not sincere towards it. And you're asking me another question. That means again you're not sincere towards this work. Right? So whole point of doing this exercise is to find out the gap. And when we ask question, we again put ourselves into, Arey, abhi to itna hai," we get into that overwhelming zone and things doesn't happen. Your answer will come in these question only. But think, when you're writing this, you will get answer by yourself. As I said, you will not need Sonam or Mini. You will have your answers. But do it sincerely. I'm definitely gonna tell you to what to do with that situation, but let's stay focused in today's session because again, there are 5 questions that I want you to do live with me because it's totally. I have just picked my question. Rest all is my experience because this changed me as a person. Okay, if you have more to write, please sit and do this work. You have whole 1 week with you. Okay, now coming to the second question. Okay. The second question is because when we get inconsistent, when we become, not so sincere towards something, there is an emotion that show up. So I want you to think about that emotion. So which emotion shows up every time you try to stay consistent? And then what is that emotion? Why is that emotion popping up? Is there anything that emotion is trying to teach you? जैसे, for example, I decided that I'm going to be consistent now with my inner work, right? But something inside me freezes me. I would love to give this example of my workout because I decide, acha, abhi gym 6 days a week. But after third or fourth day, there comes a point where my body says no. And it doesn't mean that I don't know that I have to go. It doesn't mean कि कोई कुछ lack है. There is no pain, nothing. It's somewhere a deep fear of being fear भी कह सकते हो या फिर a deep emotion where I feel what if in spite of doing it all I fail. This is I'm telling about my workout, but when I did that activity, I remember there was deep guilt, fear, pressure. ये सब था. I was very much clear about what I want to deliver, right? Inner child healing at that time, I remember when I did this exercise, but I had a fear that I will do whatever I know, everything in a right way, but what if I still fail to provide the result to my client? What if nobody even signed up? मैं तो webinar लूंगी. I'm definitely gonna take webinar, but what if nobody even showed up? I had this fear. एंड दैट इज वाई आई नेवर टुक वेबिनार. कि पहले कुछ लोगों को आने तो दो इंस्टाग्राम पे, कम से कम 1,000+ तो होने, तो देन आई विल अनाउंस, हे यू नो व्हाट, आई एम कंडक्टिंग अ वेबिनार. बट दैट वाज द बिगेस्ट मिसकंसेप्शन आई हैड, बिकॉज आई हैड फियर, a different fear, that even if I know, what if no one signed up, or what if no one even showed up? So I never took that webinar. Second, I'm coming to you. Second is I remember the lot of guilt I had, that if I rise, I'm telling you, this is very honest part of me. If I rise, I will end up losing so many people, because I know this is the kind of work not everyone will be aligned with. So am I prepared to lose all my people whom I say they are my family? So every time I was moving towards a success, I remember I was losing a person, the most closest one, the first. And over a period of these 5 years, I've lost all my friends. I don't even have any one of them in my life. So this was an unconscious fear which I realized at that time. बोलने को तो पता था, अरे हाँ, I know, as we grow, as we become, carry this wisdom, obviously everybody don't have it. तो वो सुनने में it was like a different feeling, but realizing that I am alone, there is no one on my side, I have to go alone from here. बैंड बज जाती थी उसमें, बिकॉज यू डोंट हैव एनीवन टू, वी बिकम अ क्राई बेबी एट टाइम्स, कि मेरी कौन सुनेगा, मैं तो सबकी सुन रही हूँ. दिस वाज द हेवीएस्ट गिल्ट. एंड देन द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट वन वाज द प्रेशर फॉर मी, that every month I will have to keep proving कि by bringing some money home, that you know what, this part of me, healing coaching, is something I'm worthy of doing, I'm worthy of creating results from it. So ये three things थी which became the heaviest emotion for me, right? So imagine when I'm staying in fear, guilt, and pressure. I still remember this because this actually helped me come out of this. So every time when I was writing my content for my social media, every time I was doing my inner work, but the first question was, ki, what if in spite of doing everything it doesn't work? What if I am not meant to do this work? What if this is another false start? What if this is a hope that my one of my coach have given me और मेरे लिए work नहीं किया? So this maybe wala thing, no, yeah, what if wala thing have pulled me back 100 times. And just like how Aman is saying that, because of so many things at time it feels overwhelmed, right? Literally suffocating. कि मुझसे नहीं होगा भाई, इतना कुछ है करने को. And it has, trust me, Aman, and for everyone, it has nothing to do with our skills or our time, but it's just that we don't feel safe being that powerful business women. कितने लोग अपने आप को सीईओ बोल सकते हैं आज के दिन में? बॉस, I give a F to whatever people say. I know I am a CEO coach. I think like that. I'm done calling myself as a healer. I think from the perspective that, hey, I'm not here to stay for 1 year, 2 year, or 5 year. I'm here to stay till end, and maybe even after that. My name is just enough. When you start vibrating on this, आपके, we say that we create from sacral. Why? Because then fears are gone. How? By repeating this also. So now I want you to think about your emotion. अगर आप emotion पे सही tap कर गए, everything will be sorted for you. So think, what are those 2, 3 emotion that comes when you get inconsistent? So some people feel like a failure, right? So think from your own journey, from your own perspective. Yes? Okay. Write your answer. Meantime, I'll just check your. Hmm. I actually start feeling sleepy. Okay. Good question, Priya. Whenever we start learning something or doing something, we start feeling sleepy. two reasons are there for this. First, because you have not healed on your childhood trauma. Maybe there have been times when your body wanted rest, but you have been forced to study. अच्छे number लाने हैं. You have to do something. You were compared by your own brothers sisters, and in spite of the fact that you were not that, maybe child who was too good in studies, but every time you had to prove yourself, giving up on your body. ठीक है, even if my body is calling for rest, you continued working, right? And the same thing happens today. Your body is calling for rest when you are going into that study zone or maybe learning zone once again. First, first thing is this. Second, there is a very deep pattern that has been seen with respect to feeling sleepy, is because every time you want to grow, you are going out of what your ancestors have done, right? They couldn't do a few things, and now you're going out of that boundary and trying to do something, create something better, maybe luxury for your family. So your body will be put into a zone where you will not just sleep, you might have diarrhea. I think somebody was telling me they, after doing that ritual, they got hit with again some viral or something. क्यों? Because our body is not used to growth. And हम क्या कर रहे हैं, कुबेर पोटली बनाते हुए या कोई भी रिचुअल करते हुए, for that matter, we are looking for growth. Once you beat this, कि no, my body is way too stronger than these problems, then this sleep. Trust me, you will come out of it. It's just that your mind is trained कि अच्छा ये अभी सोना है. Very very beautiful example I got to learn with one of my coach. I remember once he was telling me there are two kind of people, same situation but two different reactions. So maybe some of you who are vegetarian may not like me what I am saying. Okay, if I place a bowl of non-veg, and maybe there is someone who love non-veg, and they'll be like, wow, they'll have altogether different feelings for it. And there may be someone who is literally allergic to listening about non-veg, right? Do you see both the people have a different thing? Both the people have different reactions, right? The different way of reflecting. So ये क्या किया हुआ है? हमने अपनी body को train किया हुआ है that the moment you will hear about non-veg, this is how the reaction should be. The moment you will start learning, this is how the body react, that it put you to sleep. But by working on our mind enough, we can come out of this pattern also. Okay, the best way, if you're not doing inner child healing on this, is to tap ki हाँ, I know I sleep every time I start learning something new. Every time I get into zone of doing something new, my body put me to a sleeping zone, but I'm ready to come out of it. Why it happens? Whatever your thoughts are, tap onto those thoughts for next 7 days, and then you will not go to sleep. And when you're meditating, keep yourself awake, right? When you're learning, of course, don't lie down. And these are some natural, some very common thing that I started doing when I was on my journey, right? So NLP basically, by putting right thoughts into your mind. Okay, I don't know. Every time something or other comes in that time, maybe I attracted discipline नहीं रहता. Exactly, Soumya. That's what we are going to release. कि why discipline नहीं रहता? Because I'm not sincere towards my work. If suppose you have guests at home, my guest knows that it is Sonam's time. They will come. Even if they will come, they will not expect me to sit in my drawing room. Right? Yesterday only, I was on call with Minnie at around 11 and somebody came to give Diwali. It's not a disrespect, but they came without telling me. So I said, I am not going to disconnect my call because it's very important for me to close it today. And then she apologized first for coming late. And then she said, hey, I know that it is your sleeping time. You get up early, but I thought I'll just mind it. She apologized because even people around you, when you start displaying yourself like that, ki my discipline is way more important, because if I am disciplined, then only I can help you become that one, right? So your discipline talks to people who are in your energy, means in your family. आप इतना follow करोगे, they will know, अच्छा आज नहीं, they will eventually become that. But first you have to create that sincerity. And वो sincerity क्यों नहीं है? Because I still maybe treating it as चलो कुछ income आ रही है, not thinking of कि 10 years down the line where will Soumya be? How many of you know that 10 years down the line where will I be? If you have this, you are Totally sincere, trust me. Because आपके पास अपना game plan है. I have a problem in waking up. I do all the work, but not in from the morning. Absolutely fine. One of my coach, Mitesh, he wakes up at 7 a.m. He said, I can't get up early. It's okay, but still he's doing his work. He's earning well, right? So it matters. If you're not skipping anything that is your routine, absolutely fine. Okay. I will read your pointers also. Clear about second question because I have to do the activity, which is again very important. Okay. Third question is a very simple one. I don't want you to go in detail here. I want you to think about your family. That who in your family or maybe in your lineage was that person who struggled to stay consistent because for that person, survival was easy than growth. For that person in your family, survival was easy than growth. Okay. So when I really think about it, I realize I'm not the first person in my family, definitely. There were so many people in my family. First, my mother who remained on survival mode, right? My grandfather who just kept working, my father who just kept working without getting rest. Survival के लिए कि चलो at least we will reach at a point not to grow, not to get into that luxury mindset, but to at least survive. कि इतना तो आ जाए. And they worked really hard. They were scared of dreaming big. I still remember my father had lot and lot of money, and we realized after he left this world, but he never dreamt of having a big house. He never took risk in share market, thinking, "एक चीज भी गलत हुई, I will lose everything." So my whole thing, I now remember that as I was doing this exercise, I don't have a credit card, guys. I am still scared of having credit card or loans. So I worked on this pattern, but I still don't have credit card. But I remember from that day onwards, I think I have been the biggest risk taker in my family. When it comes to job, when it comes to investing on team, when it comes to investing on myself, my growth, wherever I felt, okay, abhi bar niche ja raha hai, let's shift the team, let's hire somebody else, let's take the next step. This changed after I realized कि किस किस के patterns है. Now, what to do with the pattern? I'm going to come on that also. One is, of course, you all are cord cutting healers. At least, as far as I remember, maximum of you are cord cutting healers. So, cutting the cord with that person, and most importantly, more important than that was because उस time cord cutting was not my cup of tea. वो था ही नहीं मेरे पास, right? I started repeating few lines, few affirmations, few things when I started reading my, success story, which will come towards the end. Like after this question only, we are going to do this. कि किस चीज में मुझे consistency चाहिए? I started telling my mind because repetition helps you activating RAS. Have you seen एक कार का आपने बोल दिया and you start seeing that car everywhere? Even though that car is right there in front of you from 2 years, but you will not get to see because your mind is not activated. Imagine everything is right here in front of you, exist in universe, your client, but आप बोल ही नहीं रहे ना मुझे 50,000 का client चाहिए. What you are repeating? You are maybe just trying to settle with the thoughts first कि पहले खुद तो heal हो जाओ, right? So first activating this RAS is important. How? When you identify this pattern, now you have a tool. I want you to start with the tool of cutting the cords with your ancestor. Ancestral healers do the healing for that ancestor, right? And most importantly, what I did when I did not knew both the thing is that, okay, Papa didn't took the risk. I am ready to because with every risk comes my next level and I'm ready to take the next level. This is just simple lines I started saying and retuning my mind. Then I started telling what risk I'm ready to take next. I used to question myself. I want you to do that because when you do, the next question, what next I'm going to do, what is the next call? ठीक है, fail हो गया, it didn't work. And I tell you very honestly, last 15 days, mein, there have been some gap with our team. They couldn't give up to the mark. They're not bad, of course, but not up to the mark. So what I did, chalo business slow down hua, let's give it some time. This is one step. Hey, what next? Is the next second step. On the same day, we started searching where is the gap, which team can help us with that, and we identified a lot of missing gaps over there. And in next 6 days, we had a new team to take over the work. I'm giving you from my present example. Even if you don't have team and you're thinking, मेरे पास तो client ही नहीं है, right? The first thing is building that mindset. Okay, I know right now I don't have client. Where is my energy leaking? What am I not doing? Even if I'm doing, why the success is not there? Do I need to change something? Is it the pattern where which I'm following by questioning after questioning जहां पे आपका question end हो रहा है वहां से दूसरा question start करने से you will get your answer, because that's what your ancestors never did. This was one of the NLP technique that my coach taught me. Wherever you question, just keep asking next, next, next. What if? Okay, when you do that, you eventually land on the most impactful part. Right? So here in this question, I want you to think about your ancestors when they gave up, right? Do the cord cutting with them, or maybe the healing statements by which I have given you to the ancestral healers. Okay. Third most important is, okay, now I am trying to build my business or trying to apply new job, whatever you are into. What is that thing that is stopping me take action? Maybe I have a fear of being seen. Okay, now I got it. I have a fear of being seen. Why? Why I have this fear? Maybe people will judge me. Okay, even if people are going to judge me, what will happen to me? You will eventually see you are reaching your body where you will start finding questions. These questions is creating heaviness, right? And you eventually land on a stage where you say, "Bus, I cannot ask after this. I don't have question after this." And that जहां पे भी आप पहुंचे हो, doesn't matter, maybe you have not reached the end. जहां तक भी आप पहुंचे हो, वहीं से रिवायर कर दो. Immediately change your thought, and before you sleep, just take this action for 11 days, and I bet you on this, you will not need us for your questions, because you exactly know. Remember, Mini taught you last week how right way to ask question. This is a absolutely opposite of that. We are asking question. Right question. Why? Like there we ask, I don't know how I am achieving all this. I have not even thought in my dreams. Here I'm telling you to go to the worst side and then reframe it to the other one. क्योंकि जब तक आपको अपना नेगेटिव नहीं पता होगा, creating positive become next to impossible. Cut the cord with that. You will get guided that I need to cut the cord with this emotion also, because this is the emotion I have been carrying for long. Right? Are you clear about this question or what you need to do? I have doctors in my life, so feel ashamed now. Yes, Varsha, very good thing. Because whenever somebody used to ask me, who are you, in spite of the fact I was in my healing journey, I used to say, I am AVP at JP Morgan. I was ashamed of telling people, hey, you know what, I'm a coach. Because मुझे लगा leaving AVP and calling myself as a coach is like degrading myself. And that's why I never grew. I never grew in my that period. Why? Because I was not proud of the work I was doing. So what I actually did to come out of that is one, tapping and then reframing. This is again an NLP which I'm telling you, reframing myself that, okay, any thought that is coming to my mind, I started reframing it to a positive thought. Right? How lucky I am to be only one chosen person in my whole family who is going to heal, which they are not even aware of. It's like I am like a surprise to them, right? Which they have been waiting for, which they don't even know. And I will reveal who I am, once I will tap into that, they will be shit proud of me. Literally, they'll be so proud of me that they'll be like, "पहले क्यों नहीं बताया?" Now, here at that point, when I was saying this, when I was literally scared to call myself as a healer, it was a very big thing for me. I remember I used to cry also. Am I really one or I'm faking out? Right? So I want you to first, everyone who says first, okay, I am a corporate person and this is my side hustle, stop doing that. Stop saying that. Call yourself as who you are. Recognize yourself. See, एक छोटा सा shift will change your identity. Yes, everybody is a doctor. Are I am a bigger doctor than them. right? Why? Because they know one is a maybe a surgeon, heart surgeon, another maybe a maybe a gynae. I am someone who can take care of all of this. It's just me who is going to remember, who is going to now, maybe remember and tap into this energy so that I can help people remember who I am. You will change your power. I want to work, but my body doesn't allow the days I feel tired. Whose pain is this? Mehak, whose pain is this? Where am I carrying this pain from? Shoulders kya? It's a responsibility. I don't have to do out of responsibility. I have to do because I really love. Without this, my soul is empty. Imagine yourself if you are without this. Are you okay? सिर्फ पैसे आ रहे हैं आपके पास. Are you okay? Then it is not your passion. Then it is not something you really wish to do. You're getting money is if getting money is enough, there are other ways to do. But if you really love doing this work, what you are into, then it's like a food to your soul. वो feed नहीं किया, it is not gonna work. Yes, CC, you can pay off before time and it's useful. Yes, yes, Yashvi. 100% Shakuntala. 100%. There is a huge impact on partition. Question part, I will. I will send you the question once again. I'm giving examples so that once you revisit these questions, you can write your thing. Don't panic. We'll have seen. Perfect, perfect. So, yes. I will take the question, Jaishri. Give me some time. I'll take the question. Now, coming to the last part of it. Okay. Now, guys, here I want you to tap into your sincerity. Think in your mind. Where do you find yourself sincere the most? जहाँ पे sincerity just come naturally to you, right? Because something where you're naturally so consistent or sincere to do the work, no one can take that thing away from you. वो तो आपको करना ही है, right? Because when you link with what you are good at with what you want to do, it becomes easy for you. Like right now, when I'm teaching healing or helping someone, okay, my literally my energy shift to next level. I didn't had energy to talk for an hour, but I just tuned my mind that I'll be able to talk. My stitches are not going to it is in fact going to heal me. It is not going to create hustle or create issue when I will be talking. In fact, it is going to heal the more I'm going to talk. And exactly, I'm not because my focus was not there. I'm not able to feel pain also. Right? So here I want you to see what you are good at or what feel कि am it comes just naturally to me. For example, some friend calls you and you feel like I'm giving advice. इतना natural आ रहा है. I don't have to pretend somebody. Somebody is, you becoming a support to someone comes naturally to you. Right? It could be anything. I'm just giving you example which are more relatable to my life. So I want you to think about such things where you are naturally good at, जिसमें हमको कोई बोलता नहीं है. Some people are naturally good at doing mantras. They can't leave their morning prayers, their mantras. Like one of my coach, he says that I cannot come for session if I don't chant my mantras for an hour at least. So that is a very natural power that he holds, right? The way hold space for your clients. That's the same sincerity. अब हमें पता है मुझे client को तो बताना है you have to do XYZ thing and you know everything. But are you holding that space for yourself? You tell your client, hey, you know what? You have to commit to your journey. When you are with me for 3 months, please stay committed. But are you equally committed? So are you holding that space for yourself? So I want you to think first, what space or what is that thing which comes naturally to you. फिर अभी हम उसको merge कर देंगे लास्ट में. Okay, because I'm going to start with the actual tapping part now. And this question is something I want you to do by yourself also. So that you exactly know. जब तक journal नहीं करेंगे ना, you will not get the real answers, which is part of you. And you're scared to see that part. Yes. I've got, we will have recording of everything. But to secret. Okay, these Wednesday sessions are only will now be uploaded only in our cord cutting, right? Not in any other group. So those who are part of cord cutting will be able to access. Right? I'll send these question, guys, but why I'm explaining this to you, because once you identify, you will be able to tap into that with ease. Right? Now, now here I will close by asking you one last question as you understood. Okay, awareness is everything. Okay, if this consistency or rather sincerity became your definition of success. Okay, because I'm sincere, that's why I'm succeeding. If this becomes your definition of success, from today, how you will act, what you will become. अगर आप sincere हो, if you are consistent, consistent कब होगे? When you're sincere towards something. When you are doing irrespective of, okay, you have Big Boss coming on TV and आप कह रहे हो कि मुझे नहीं देखना because to me, my work is way more important. You're not scrolling reels after reels and searching on what other coaches are doing because you know what I am creating out of my sacral is going to sell. Doesn't matter कोई वो पढ़ा भी रहा है या नहीं. Right? So now, if sincerity become your success ka definition, then how will you act? Right? Maybe when I remember when I wrote it, because that time I had a problem getting up early. I said I remember I wrote something like that. I wouldn't wake up trying to be perfect. I would just wake up and do what truly matters to me. Right? Because there were so many things my coaches said, RTFA kar lo. Somebody used to say CC kar lo. Somebody used to say affirmations kar lo. Whatever will feel right to me after getting up, and no matter what time I'm getting up, I will do that no matter what. Right? This is the first thing I remember I did. I will not wait for, a divine timing, your right mood, your right time. I will stop, seeing those motivational videos या बार बार अपने coaches की videos जाके. Rather, I will trust my intention. Yes, if I am doing this, I'm going to create result. I will not think. I will not rather overthink. Should I post it or should I not? I will post it. ये मैंने लिखे हैं points. Literally, I have written each and every point on that day when I did this exercise, because just like many of you, I had this thought. कि what if I will not be able to stay consistent. So I said I will not overthink. और मैंने ना क्रॉस लगा के लिखा था, I will not overthink. ठीक है, I will just put anything and everything that is coming to my head. Stories पे जाके if my mind is saying this is what will happen or this is what happened to me today, I was not in right mood, but in spite of that I did something. मैं वो भी बताऊंगी. And that's where my whole that hit to come on camera, everything just got dissolved. I stopped comparing myself with my peers. कि, oh, she got 5 lakh a client, I didn't get any. Right? I literally wrote each and every point on that day. I remember so many points were there. I'm just recalling few. Um, I used to rely on people liking my post. So I remember I wrote that I will stop chasing validation. And I will start honoring every damn effort that I'm putting on my post or in creating my content. I will show up because I really want to show, whatever I learned in my journey. Because it looks right to me, not because I have to prove people कि मैं coach बन गई हूँ और मुझे ये सब बोलना है. Right? So your job is just to tell. First, take a note of it कि ये सब मैं नहीं करने वाली. This is who you will become. Right? I'm telling you, I will find that piece of paper also where I wrote all of these points. It was a huge list that I created. I don't remember exactly, but I remember I first thing that changed for me was that I wrote in that I will eat mindfully. I will make sure my body will move. I will make sure that I will do my inner work. Not to tick boxes, because I had a whiteboard here जिसमें मैं रोज टिक लगाती थी that I have done this. Because when I do all of this, it makes me feel alive. So if I'm sincere, it is a food for my soul. ये word मैं बार बार क्यों बोल रही हूँ? Because I actually say, when my husband said, सुबह सुबह क्या लेके बैठ जाती है? You write so much, you listen to mantras. I said it's a food for my soul. कैसे, I should stay, keep my soul hungry. And now he is habitual of saying this too, but initially he questioned me on everything. I shifted from that thought, am I doing enough? To one thing, guys, am I being real or am I faking out on social media? When I say faking out means just for the sake of कुछ कर रही हूँ. Chat GPT से उठाया, copy paste कर दिया, या is it my real story which I'm trying to talk? So most of you who have seen me, you must have seen, because before my social media team came, I was just doing talking reels. I was just rather than typing on stories, I was just going on stories and talking. Why? It shows a real side of you. People connect with your heart when you speak. Okay. So this is who I wanted to become 2, 3 years back. Right. And that's what I exactly became because I wrote that I will show up because मुझे तो I want the world to hear me. I am not showing up because I have to impress somebody. I know all of you knows that. I know you must be, aware of it. But how many of you have taken a note? This is who I will become, right? So the last question is going to be most important, and I want each one of you to share that if this sincerity became my definition of success, how will I act differently tomorrow morning, right? Now, how to tap into that energy, उस पे आते हैं. But are you able to connect with the questions? Are you able to find even 10% of the energy leak? Because if yes, then taking action makes sense. I'm not telling you 100%. अभी भी सिर्फ 10% समझेगा. Because if this would have been so easy for us, then I think everybody would have reached millionaire, billionaire state in no time. But it does take time to embody something. और आज 5% भी embody कर लोगे ना, my work is done. You all have literally won this space. Why? Because you learned 5% or taken one action from whatever you have learned. That's the real success. That 5% will take you to 50% to 100% eventually. Yes. So are you clear about these 5 questions before I go to the next part of it? Anyone have any question before I move?
If we
Right.
understand 1% also, हमारा भला हो ही जाएगा. क्योंकि सब कुछ नहीं कर सकते. अब जैसे बोल रहा है ऐसा सुनने से इमीडिएट जाकर कुछ नहीं कर सकते, मगर कुछ तो समझ में आया. कितना समझ में आया आपका टैपिंग को लेकर? टैपिंग नहीं करे तो भी मेरे लिए तो बहुत बड़ा है.
Yes.
थैंक यू.
100%.
थैंक यू.
Tapping on your real feelings. Yes. How about others?
Uh, Sonam, how
Yes.
can I cut the course of my father's maternal family?
I will tell you in cord cutting session, not here.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Yes. Okay. Mehak, last question was, if sincerity become my new definition of success, then how will I act differently from tomorrow morning? Right? If I become so sincere, because I know that sincerity is my new definition of success, then how will a new Mehak will look like from tomorrow morning? Maybe she is not working to, post so many things. Maybe she is just working because she want to show to world, hey boss, do this because this is going to change you. And trust me, one thing I'm going to create reel on, and I want maximum of you to create this talk about this topic, which is being rich is our moral responsibility. I heard this from one of the very known person, and I will take just 1 minute to tell you about this because if you listen to this, you will exactly know why it is my moral responsibility. So he gave a beautiful example. Imagine, I don't know, I don't have that note here. Okay, imagine there is a 500 rupee note. You are a very good person. You saw that 500 rupee note on road. There is another very bad person. Okay, he also saw the same note. You said, no, this note doesn't belong to me. I cannot take this because this is not ethical. Other person will come, who is a bad person, will pick that note, utilize that note maybe to buy something which is not right. Maybe some, you know, they might buy something very wrong. They might spend on alcohol. So imagine if you would have taken that money and you would have utilized that 500 bucks at a right place, even if it is by donating to someone, even if it is by donating to someone, could you have saved your society a little bit better? And now see it from the point of view of a healer, a businesswoman. There are women who come to you and say, hey, you know what? I don't have money. They have money. Their husband have money, but maybe they spend on alcohol, right? Or maybe somebody in your home also spend on something which is not so great. Or you yourself spend on something which is not so great. And if you are deciding to take and invest your money at a right place because you know I deserve to grow big, to grow rich, because I know, first of all, not everybody can be. There will be people who will stay like this, who are bad people, who are going to utilize that money in a wrong way. So, wo money, why should I leave that money? When you go and tell your clients about this, convince them to an extent कि put it at a right place. क्योंकि पैसा तो use होगा. Maybe they will buy another pair of clothes for themselves and maybe they will throw that cloth after 6 months. But when they buy you, when they buy your product, maybe they will grow 10x. Maybe they will have money to buy 10 more things. But you think by me pushing them to buy me for my services is not right. So you stay calm, you wait for them to come and they may go and invest at a wrong place or maybe with some other coach because you did not try enough. So this become first your moral responsibility to do so that that money, because money तो stagnant है ना, money is not something that is growing every day. Money is stagnant. या तो एक hand में जा रहा है या दूसरे. Why not to come in the right hand so that you can utilize for some better cause? So I want you all to spread this awareness that earning money, becoming rich, not earning money, becoming rich is my first moral responsibility. The more you say it, the more you will be able to tap into the energy and talk to your clients with this. Ki yes, you know what? This is important for you. This is you will have your right words to convince your client. You don't need any script from me. You'll be like, I exactly know why my client should invest with me. Right? वो कहीं ना कहीं पैसा use होगा ही होगा. Now it's up to you to decide. Yes. And when I heard this like quite some time back, I said, yes, I am the one and I know it is my moral responsibility to have that money from my client because I can help them create better. पैसा तो वो लगेगा ही. It's not going to stay in their pockets. Then why not in my pocket where they can grow? Right? When you get into that thought as a healer and coach, your business goes on next level. Yes. So enough of Gyan. I've given a good amount of whatever questions I did to reach at this point. I want you to sit and give yourself time to answer, and then every single day for next 11 days you do this and tell me how your sincerity level has shifted and how consistent you have become towards your whatever thing you're working on. Okay? On social media, on your workouts or whatever. Yes, shall we start? Okay, let me read. Yes, true. Exactly, Mona. I was like blown with this thought. Ki, हाँ, it was such a nice point.